Aquarius, how are you? Let's do a reading for your current energies, shall we? As always, please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. Now, I sure appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. And if you appreciate what I do here, help me out. Hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really makes a difference to my channel. And I would love to see my channel continue to grow. So, grateful, thankful for the messages for each and every one of you. Let's do one more shuffle and then I'll cut the deck and we'll see what's coming out for all of my Aquarians for the next 7 to 10 days. All right, let's see what's going on for you. We have the Queen of Cups reversed to the Five of Pentacles. So, I mean, you're a little emotionally stuck in a situation when it comes to, you know, how you feel. Maybe sometimes you feel misunderstood or you feel very alone. You know, when we have this combination, I feel as if you question whether or not there's anybody out there who can really understand you or get you. You know, you Aquarians are pretty hard to kind of pin down because there is this energy of you being a little aloof. You know, so sometimes it's hard for people to know whether or not you want help. So if you feel that way, maybe what you need to do is, you know, let people know that, you know, I'm really feeling not good about myself right now and I could use a friend. You know, don't be afraid to put that out there. I think it would be really good for you. Now, for others, I wonder whether or not, you know, there's a situation between you and someone you are involved with. And I've got 2 women on the table. It doesn't have to be 2 women, but I just feel like, you know, there quite possibly there could be an imbalance on how, you know, people feel about each other. Maybe you question how somebody really feels about you and whether or not, you know, this is the right connection. We do have the 2 of Cups coming here as the final outcome. It is reversed. So I'm just wondering whether or not, you know, there is a situation you are dealing with that has left you really stressed out. And not knowing what to do, you know, especially when it comes to how you see your future with this person. This could be a partnership. This could be a relationship. You know, in the recent past, we do have the 3 of Wands, you know. So, I mean, this is about, you know, setting something in motion that the 2 of you maybe had this really great idea or maybe, you know, together you wanted to do something, you know, and I think it started out as a really great vision, but then somehow it kind of fizzled because we've got this 4 of Wands now. And it's just like now you just don't see the future moving forward with this person. And you're a little confused and hung up about it. Now, you know, I'm not going to lie. We've got the Hanged Man coming in here reversed. So I just feel like a lot of the stress that you are feeling, a lot of the anxiety that's coming up. We do have the 9 of Swords here. So I am sensing there is this anxious energy around you. You know, I just feel like what you need to do is to speak up. All right, I just pulled the Page of Swords to try to see what should you do about this 9 of Swords, especially if you don't want this connection to come to an end. All right, you know, it's just like without really telling somebody that, you know, look, I feel like I'm all alone here in this connection and I just don't know what we should do. You know, you've got to speak up, especially if you want this cloud, this heaviness that has kind of, you know, built up between the 2 of you to go away. And like I said, I have 2 women here on the table, but it doesn't have to be. It can be, you know, just 2 people that, you know, you had seen a future with. And now we're just kind of questioning whether or not we really are going to be able to continue and to move through these gates, you know, for a great big celebration. Now, the 4 of Wands isn't always about marriage, but it is about, you know, going through a portal, you know, and, you know, being able to like celebrate, you know, the victory of this thing that the 2 of you have put together. So you question your future with this person. You question the partnership. You question what you should do, whether we should continue, whether you should even move forward. And we have the Fool coming in here reversed, all right? So, you know, you don't want to make any mistakes. If you're going to start something with this person, if you're thinking like, oh, let's get married, and now you don't want to get married, you know, because there is that energy that I'm sensing here, and it's really stressing you out, you have got to speak up. All right, that's what the Page of Swords says. You have got to tell somebody what's really going on, because to be in this state of confusion and to be anxious is not doing you any favors, all right? It's keeping you in a state of stress, right? And we don't want to be stressed. But if we stop and we really start to look at things from a bigger perspective, what is it that you really want? Is this really going to work? I mean, here you see that this was the vision we had, and now I don't know if it's really going to work for us. I don't know if I want to continue. You're going to have a lot more strength when you start to really look at things, all right? Because he's in tree pose here upside down. And tree pose is a very strong energy, all right? Because you're standing strong on one leg, on one thought, one idea. But the Hanged Man wants you to gain perspective. So you've got to really look at things from a bigger point of view. Now, we have the Moon card here as part of your extension, all right? Now, the Moon card says, I've got to, really follow what my heart wants, all right? It wants me to come up from the depths of these feelings that have been really been struggling with, all right? The Queen of Cups, when she's reversed, emotionally, she's a wreck, and you don't trust anything that's going on with this energy. But the Moon card here, it's very psychic, very intuitive. So is the Queen of Cups. And I feel like you have been getting pulled, to start making a direction or a move in another direction, especially here with this Moon card, where there's this path here, all right? And, we've got this, lobster or this crab, whatever you want to call it, coming out of its shell, all right? And getting on this path and going down this road that you really are feeling called to. And that might be what is holding you up, saying, I don't know if I can continue doing this because I'm being called to do this. And this is the stress that you have. But, this Page of Swords, it's upright, okay? This isn't going to be a bad conversation. This is going to be a real conversation that clears the air and it clears the way for you to possibly start and go down this road that the Moon wants you to go down. But you holding it all in isn't doing any favors to anyone, all right? I'm just feeling like it's time for you to get out of this place of stress. Let's bring it to an end, because the Nine of Swords always wants to bring this next sword in to have this come to an end so that we can move forward. All right, here's that sword. This is that 10 that we need in order to end the stress and anxiety. You've got to speak up and let this person know how you're truly feeling. If you do not want to go forward with whatever this is with this person, whether it's a marriage or it's a partnership or whatever, then you need to say something now, all right, before it's too late. And you don't want to make any mistakes. I mean, here's this Fool card. You don't want to just kind of jump in knowing that you have these feelings already stirring. So I am feeling like, if this is around you wanting to get married, or, or this person you're planning on marrying and you're really hung up on the fence, now is the time to talk about it. Okay, rather than go through the whole process of getting the people together and blah, 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 blah. It's just like, no, we can't do this. Then you need to say something right now. All right. Now, the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. Again, this need to start talking about it. Let's talk about what really is going on, because I just feel like, Aquarius, you are about to go in a direction that you really don't want to go in. And if you want to keep going in this vein, the only person that's really going to suffer will be you. The other person will appreciate, this not happening rather than it happening and you having all these negative feelings towards it. So it's really time to really sit down, say what you have to say, and say, look, I want to do this. This is what I really want to do. I really don't want to go down this door. I don't want to go through this portal with you. I want to go in another direction. This is what I want. And this card says, let's communicate. Let's talk about it. Because here below it, we do have the Knight of Cups coming in reverse. So if this is about a relationship, I just feel like you don't have the same feelings, the deep feelings that this person has, when it comes to your future. And, if you're in question today, then you need to really open up and let someone else know. And then you're not going to feel so alone. all right? Because I feel like, you know, it would be much more appreciated for you to finally say what you need to say, so that, and to be fair to the other person, you know, because, you know, to go in knowing that you don't want to do this and them thinking that this is like this greatest thing that the two of you are going to do. I mean, you know, the scales are really unbalanced. And with the Two of Cups coming in here reverse, I have to believe that this could be around a union that you just cannot continue with. So however this plays out for you, Aquarius, I sure am sending a lot of love and a lot of light and a lot of support for this conversation that you need to have in order to finally put this to rest, so that everybody feels good, all right? So that's what I've got for you, Aquarius. Please take what works, leave what doesn't. I'll see you at another reading. Until then, be happy, be healthy, be kind, and hit that like button. All right, bye now.